Welcome to the Emotional Balance Sheet, the go-to podcast for parents with multiple kids, especially those with twins, triplets, or more, who are navigating the maze of modern family life and personal finance. Whether you're overwhelmed by education or retirement planning, parenting dilemmas, career transitions, or trying to define your purpose and plan, we're here to guide you with empathy, encouragement, and expertise. Hosted by Paul Fenner, founder of Tama Capital, a certified financial planner and parent to 4 kids, including a set of triplets, our podcast is your ally in the quest for financial peace of mind, proving that money matters, but family comes first. Subscribe now and join our community of empowered parents at tamacapital.com.
This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Clients of TAMA may retain positions in the securities discussed in this podcast.
What does comprehensive financial planning even mean? At Tama Capital, it means a family office where lifestyle planning such as retirement, college, portfolio management, tax prep, and planning all are under one umbrella. But it goes beyond numbers. We focus as much on the emotional side of financial planning as we do on the financial side. We get you. We understand your challenges of building a family, business, or career, and a healthy life. We are devoted to wealth planning for families like yours because we are you. Learn how our family can help your family by visiting tamacapital.com.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back. This week, I'm trying something new, video to go along with the audio. So let me know if you like it and if you see this on YouTube. This is the time of year that can send high school seniors into absolute panic. It's college planning season. And I've had a couple great guests on the show, namely Heidi King, who works with families going through this process, as well as myself. I don't know how many conversations I've had this year already centered around college planning. I feel like I have a lot of seniors this year, and the decisions that get pretty tough. So what I wanted to do in this episode was take the time and go through a list of questions that I've developed over the years on asking the right questions when it comes to your college search. And again, based on some previous conversations I've had, these questions should center around 3 key points of what you're looking for college, whether it's academic, whether it's social, or lifestyle. So here we go. How do I even apply for admissions? Some schools have specific requirements. Some go through what's called the Common App. Is there an application fee? Just because there's an application fee does not mean you should not apply. Is there an application deadline? This gets key because some kids will try to get an early decision, which is typically in the fall, versus a normal decision, which could be late winter, early winter. And then some schools have what's called rolling admissions. So it doesn't matter when you apply. What are the application requirements at your school that you're looking to go? Do you have direct admissions? When do they release admission decisions? Kind of goes back to the point I was just making. How do they evaluate GPA? There's such thing as weighted GPA and non-weighted GPA. How does a school evaluate ACT and SAT scores? For some colleges, they're not even a requirement anymore. This is one of the impacts of COVID. What are the admission requirements for my major, if you're so inclined to pick a major at this point? How does the process for AP and IB scores for college credit work? How do you process dual credit courses for transfer credits at your school? What is your placement rate? What is your graduation rate? What academic support or resources do you offer? And when you're going to visit a campus, find out where the Career Center is. What is the average class size? What is the student to faculty ratio? Who teaches the course? A teaching assistant versus faculty member versus a tenured professor? What campus visit opportunities do you offer? What scholarships do you have? What are the deadlines for those scholarships? And how do I apply? Are your scholarships stackable? Which means if you get one scholarship and another scholarship, you can use them both together versus having to choose one or the other. What is the cost of attendance? And this is something I deep dive into families I work with, that think of it as a car. There's an MSRP sticker price, if you will, and then the price that you end up paying, which could be completely different. What is the financial aid award timeline at your school? What is the average financial aid award? Also, what is the percentage of need met? Are there payment plans? If so, how do those work? Who is my assigned admissions counselor or rep at your school? Do you have study abroad opportunities? How does that work? How much does it cost? When is freshman/new student orientation for those that may be transferring from one school to another? What is the on-campus housing policy? Are there requirements that force you to live on campus your freshman, sophomore year, even your junior year? Is there off-campus housing affordable and available? Are there any specific course requirements at your school? For example, world language, theology. What is the academic advising model at your school? For example, faculty, professional advisors, or a hybrid? So those are the many questions that I go through or have parents and students think about when they're looking at putting their college list together. I will also be sure to include a link in the show notes to this list as well, so it's completely handy for you. If there's any questions you have on the college planning process, whether it's from financial aid to how to utilize 529 accounts, how to balance scholarships, how to incorporate parent, student, grandparents' contributions, we are here to help. The other key thing when it comes to college planning is that there's always a tax implication across the entire spectrum. So it really does impact you on what accounts you pay out of, what accounts you don't pay out of. If you've enjoyed this conversation, could you do me a favor? Do you know anyone else who would enjoy these types of conversations where we talk about the intersections of our emotional and financial lives? Because if you do, it's actually going to help both of us. Could you share this conversation with someone? They will think you're great because you just gave them this terrific podcast, and it helps me grow my audience. Or you can tell them to go to tamacapital.com. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Emotional Balance Sheet Podcast. Please visit tamacapital.com to subscribe to this podcast or to connect with certified financial planner and registered investment advisor Paul Fenner of Tama Capital. And please join us again next time on the Emotional Balance Sheet Podcast.